I was never really a runner. The way I see running is a gift, especially when you have stage 4 cancer. I'm Anne. I'm running the Boston Marathon, presented by Bank of America. I run for Dana-Farber Cancer Institute to give people like me a chance to thrive in life, even with cancer.
Join Bank of America in helping Anne's cause. Give if you can at BofA.com/supportAnne. What would you like the power to do? References to charitable organizations is not an endorsement by Bank of America Corporation. Copyright 2025.
Uh-oh. The last cookie.
You can get a new box of cookies in as fast as an hour with Walmart Express Delivery.
Are you my guilty self-conscience?
No, I'm the voice offering you promo code EXPRESS for free delivery on your first order.
Hey, who ate my cookies?
You mean, these cookies?
Order now. Welcome to your Walmart. Promotion valid for first express delivery order. $50 minimum subject to availability. Restrictions apply.
I said to him, here's your money. He said, wait till you get off the bus.
Okay, well, I'll put a pin in that right now. Did she say, here's your $200? You say, oh, no. Don't give me the $200 here.
Yeah.
No, Your Honor.
No.
This is the plaintiff, Wallace Tillman. He says he met the plaintiff on a bus ride to a casino, and she asked him if she could borrow $200 to get her car out of the impound. He loaned her the money. Then poof, she disappeared, running off thinking he wouldn't be able to track her down. Well, you need to get up pretty early in the morning to outrun him. And he's here suing the defendant for $525 for the loan, plus interest. This is the defendant, Sandra. She says the plaintiff's a married flirt who loaned her $200, and then when she was ready to pay him back, he told her he didn't want the money. What he wanted was to rent a hotel room and have sex with her. She refused. He disrespected her and didn't get to fulfill his desire. That's the only reason he's suing. She's accused of taking off.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Millian in our forum, the People's Court.
You seated? Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
Okay. Mr. Tillman, what's going on?
Well, Your Honor, met this young lady here on a bus ride to the Sands in Pennsylvania.
Which is? Casino?
Yes, casino. Okay. And a very nice young lady. So after that, once we came back home, I heard from her. She was telling me that her car was pulled over. She had to go to the VMV to get her driver's license and registration renewed again because they were suspended. In addition to that, she said to me, she said, well, Wallace, she says, they impounded my car and it's going to be...
So you just felt sorry for her?
I did. She said,
so you loaned her how much money?
$200.
And then you actually put it in writing.
I did.
And then the $200 was going to become $535. There's a $330-something penalty if you don't pay me by the day you say you're going to pay me.
Absolutely. And Judge, I got that information from you. You're the one that taught me.
Me? I looked at it and I said, is this even legal? That's what I said. I was looking at it saying, it's really clever. Is this legal? And it's not usurious because it's not interest, and it's not something disguised as interest. She could get away with just paying the $200 if she just does what she's supposed to do, which you didn't. Now, you borrowed the money on what day?
February 5th.
Okay,
Sorry.
on February 5th you borrowed the money. You're supposed to pay the money back when?
On the 8th, the following Friday.
Okay. And were you two going to see each other again, or you're from the same town, so...
We were going to see each other to meet up to give him back his money.
And what happens?
What happened, he texted me before I left work and said if he could get his money. I said to him, I can't, the agreement was to give you your money after I left work. I can't leave work and give you the money just now.
But you couldn't walk out 2 seconds and just hand him the envelope with the money?
But I didn't have the money at the time. That's what the problem is.
That sounds more believable.
Yes.
Now we're getting somewhere, because you told him, you made it sound like you had the money, but you didn't. All right, now.
Yeah, I didn't have my check yet, but I was going to have the money by the end of the day.
And did you?
Yes.
All right, so you have his $200.
Uh-huh.
You're going to pay him, and the deal was at that point you decide, I guess, were the both of you going to go on the bus again to go gamble?
Yes.
Do you bring him the money?
Yes, I bring him the money. I said to him, here's your money. He said, wait till you get off the bus.
Okay, well, I'll put a pin in that right now. Did she say, here's your $200? You say, oh, no. Don't give me the $200 here.
Yeah.
No, Your Honor.
No. My hands are on fire. They can't touch the $200.
No, Your Honor.
Magically, we're gonna wait until that didn't happen. All right, so what happens instead? You go on the bus and what happens?
I was on the bus. I asked her for the $200. She was sitting by a gentleman and she says, I give it to you when we get off the bus. I said, okay.
So then you get off the bus and what does she tell you?
I come to her and I said, I need the $200. She says, well, I got to go to the ATM and get it. I said, okay.
Why don't you walk with her to the ATM? Because that's the only way you're gonna get it.
Well, Your Honor, I said to her, look, I'm going to be sitting right here by the bar.
Yeah, why are you leaving it up for her?
Because
you know she didn't have the money the first day. Then she didn't have the money on the bus. Now she lied and said, I'll give it to you when we get off the bus. She doesn't have the money then. Why would you let her out of your sight?
Your Honor.
Because she's there to do what? By the way, wait. What are we doing at the Sands?
Gambling.
Right. So why would you let her out of your sight?
For this reason, Your Honor, I was helping the elderly people off the bus. We had a lot of senior citizens on the bus.
Oh, let them have some exercise. Let somebody else help them. You got to follow that girl to the ATM. That's the only job you have. Go ahead.
And that's what I was doing. I was helping them off. And I said to her, meet me by the bar. Okay, I'll be ready here by the bar.
And so you're standing there in the bar where you could be making all kinds of money gambling with that $200.
Never shows up.
She never shows up.
And I kept texting her and texting her, telling her that I need the money. And
ignoring you. And then what? And then by now she's blown the $200 if she was ever going to give it to you anyway.
Yes.
So then what happens?
So then my friend and I go looking for her, the bus driver, and I go looking for her, and we finally find her and her sister standing up by a gambling table. I don't know if they was gambling or not. I asked for my money again, and she got somewhat irate, and I said, you know what?
What'd she say?
Well, she was about to, they were starting a scene, and I didn't want to argue in the casino, and I said to her, look, the $300 and some is now going to be added on to the $200 that you owe me, okay? And I left.
Have you seen her since then, or you filed the case? All right,
no,
let me hear your version of what happened at the casino.
When we get into the casino, I met him at a bar, and I said, here's your money. He said, me and my friend, the bus driver, we had 2 rooms upstairs, and I would like to go upstairs and have sex with you. You don't have to give me back the money. And I felt disrespect. I said, you're not going to have sex with me, and I left.
Wait, what was the point of telling you about the 2 rooms? Did he expect you to have sex with him and the bus driver?
No, his friend have a partner as well. So he said both of them rented 2 rooms, and they were going to go upstairs to have sex. So I would just have to have sex with him and not give him the $200. And I walked off. Do
you have any proof of anything you're saying?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So can he excuse the debt on condition that she have sex with him?
I think that's something that should have been discussed up front.
Discussed up front. Okay, I'm kind of looking at it a slightly different way. What do you say?
I'm saying that I think that is prostitution. I mean, and you never know. I mean, the guy's basically pressuring her into doing something by offering money.
Illegal?
Change. Illegal, absolutely.
What do you say?
Absolutely illegal. That's prostitution.
Okay. Get the picture?
I get the picture.
Going inside the courtroom.
I have proof on my phone of he trying to get with me.
All right, let me see that.
That's his text here. All of this is his text talking to me and more, but that phone has been broken and I can't pull up the other ones.
On February 5th, you text him and say, I'm outside waiting for you. He says, okay, on my way. And you say, thanks. What was happening February 5th?
I don't remember about what was happening.
Do you know what was happening February 5th?
I don't know. The only thing I can think of is maybe she was going to the hospital and wanted me to follow her to the hospital, maybe.
I think that was the day I was going to the hospital. And
then he asks, hey, how do you feel? And you say, I'm feeling all right, I'm back at work.
Yes.
He just checks on you and says, okay, checking on you, how are you doing?
Hmm.
And then on February 8th, he says, don't forget to send me the money with the Zelle app today.
Right.
And then you say, I can't send it with Zelle. I get a paper check, so I will have the cash ready for you later. He tries to get the money on the Friday before it gets too dark, and you say you can't. He asks if you're going on the bus. You say yes, but I would like to give it to you early in the morning because I don't want you to add anything extra on it. And he says, no worries. I won't add anything extra on it. I'll get it from you on the bus. Right. How long did you think that would go on, though? Okay, thanks. Good night.
Right.
Okay, you've handed me the phone where on February 9th, he texts at 7 p.m. saying, I'm at the bar where you first walk in. I need my money. Then he texts you again in 40 minutes. I need my money now. And he texts you again right after that. I need my money. I have any money. I need my money now, please. And then he texts you again after that. I need my money. This is at 10 o'clock the next day. I need my money today. Please email, call, or text me back. This is your last chance. You text him. The next text you will get from me is about your money. He says, this needs to happen today. I can't believe you did this to me after all I did for you. You spent my money for you and your sister at the Sands and left me with no money. You were so wrong, and you know it was so wrong. Now I understand why bad things keep happening to you. Where's your outrage about how he sexually proposed for you to be a prostitute? Where's that in your answer?
No, it's under...
Well, where's that in your answer? Because I thought I was going to see how he wanted to get with you, and I didn't. I also don't see where you are outraged that the night before he proposed to have you have sex with him to participate in the oldest profession alive and make you into a prostitute. Where's the outrage? Where's that in that text? How dare you? How dare you propose? Where's that?
It's in that phone, but it's on my WhatsApp, and that phone is broken, so I couldn't pull up all of that.
So you have no proof, right?
I have no proof of that.
No proof at all. No proof at all. In fact, what you've given me is proof that it didn't happen, because what should happen there, instead of, yes, I will text you about your money, is, how dare you? How dare you sexually proposition me? Because that's your defense. I'm not going to pay him because he is a pig. He sexually propositioned me to work off the money, and I am not a prostitute. That's what I would expect you to have been texting him.
Yeah, but
But it's not what you texted. You know why? Because you are not only someone no one should help, you're a liar, and you're worse than a liar. You not only lied about having the money and being willing to pay him, you are now creating him to... You're married, right?
Yes.
Trying to create problems for him in his marriage. By the way, if
47 years, Your
yeah, but let me just tell you, if my husband's following some woman to the hospital, that's too much for me. Just so you know. But that's not what one would call him trying to get with you. I don't know what you think is going on there, but all I see going on there is a liar and someone who owes a man money. So now we're going to talk about the late fee. According to you, you should be able to charge a $325 late fee because that's what she agreed to, right?
Yes, Your Honor.
When I'm sitting here thinking, is that late fee egregious, and should I maybe lower it because it's so penalizing? I got to take into account that she is a liar about you having propositioned her. So let me tell you what I am not feeling right now. It's that milk of human kindness for you. I don't feel it welling up inside me. $525 for the plaintiff plus your court costs.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's what you've let a $200 problem become.
Well, the defendant's on her way out of the courtroom. I would think you're a little embarrassed right now if you'll step over here. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm a little embarrassed because exactly what I say, what happened, that's what happened. And she listened to his side of the story and put the judgment on me. And I know honestly that this man trying to get to me and refuse his $200. It's nothing for me to give him $200 back off what he did. But because of his disrespect, I didn't want to give it to him.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, Mr. Tillman. You heard what she said. I know you heard the accusations. You laughed at first.
I did.
You did. When you walked into the courtroom, you were hearing. You turned around a little bit.
Absolutely.
Wait, were you shocked to hear that?
I was extremely shocked. That was like the craziest thing I've ever heard in my life.
She's still saying it.
I heard her.
Yeah. Nothing to it. Okay.
Nut job, man. What can I tell you?
Well, you got $500.
I did.
How about that?
Thank you.
Good for you.
Appreciate it.
Okay, congratulations. Thank the judge, not me. Harvey?
Doug, he should have sued for punitive damages. He would have gotten it because this is malicious. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
It's time for basketball, and Uber Eats is dropping deals on game day favorites to keep you locked in on the action. Like when you're craving a buzzer beater, but also buffalo wings. Or when an upset makes you want to ugly cry into a pizza. And right now, Uber Eats has game day deals from McDonald's, Popeyes, Pizza Hut, Wendy's, and hundreds more local favorites. So you can keep your eyes on the ball and your hands on a hamburger. Order now, only on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
These are the plaintiffs, Nancy and Glenn Martin. Nancy says they hired the defendant to build their kids a treehouse, and the crook took their money, and her kids still don't have a treehouse to play in. They hope this doesn't happen to other parents looking for a reliable builder. Their kids' summer was ruined, and their dreams crushed, and they're suing for the return of the $5,000 they're owed. This is the defendant, James McCarthy. He says he worked diligently on the plaintiff's treehouse, custom ordered the materials, got the permits from the town, and was all set to start the build when they went nuts on him, canceled the job, and told him how powerful they were and to watch out for Vinny and Rocco because they were sending them to his house. Well, he won't be threatened by the likes of the plaintiffs and doesn't owe them a refund. He's accused of tree trouble.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiffs hired the defendant to build their kids a treehouse. The guy took the money and ran. But the defendant says the plaintiffs threatened him with Vinny and Rocco. It's the case of my thuggy Vinny.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
All right, Mr. and Mrs. Martin and family, welcome. You're suing Mr. McCarthy with Creative Custom Cabinetry, doing business as Treehouse Brothers. For $5,000, a statutory maximum, you say you're actually out a deposit of $7,500 and you want your money back. Why? What happened?
So, Your Honor, back in May of 2018, I decided with my husband that we wanted to have a treehouse built in our backyard for the kids to play in as a reward for them doing well at school. So I did some research online, and I came across the Treehouse Brothers with James McCarthy as the owner and reached out to them. They had a very impressive website, seemed to be very enthusiastic treehouse builders, and I contacted them. They came to my, James came to my house and drew up some plans for the treehouse, and we signed the estimate and gave him a deposit.
How much was the treehouse going to cost?
In total, it would have been $15,000.
Okay.
So he wanted half the payment up front, so we gave him $7,500. And then upon his request, he said we should notify our neighbors, which we did.
Which is smart, because if you don't do that, then there might be a problem later.
Exactly. Right. Initially, he said that, you know, he definitely informed us.
Did you ever talk to the neighbors?
I did.
So did you send him to talk to the neighbors?
No, I sent them a certified letter. I tried to knock on their door.
Why don't you send your neighbors a certified letter? Like,
well, because I knocked on their door and they didn't answer.
Do you have problems with those neighbors?
No.
Okay. And according to you, you spoke to those neighbors.
He said he'd had some problems with them in the past and that I should be careful.
Did you have any problems with them in the past?
Never.
Why are you talking to the neighbor?
Actually, I was over there surveying the tree that I was going to build in, and he came out and approached me.
Did he ask you, what are you doing here?
Yes, he did. He did? Yes, he did. And I said, I was informed that they had talked to you. He said, no, they did not talk to me. And he said, matter of fact, all they did was send me a letter, and he was a little upset by it. Oh. And he said, I think you should turn around and go check it out with the town. So I went.
He said that to you?
Yes.
Okay. So you end up deciding the best course of action, which was wise again, is to go to the town and maybe get a permit to do what you want to do. And what happened?
My husband, Glenn, went down to City Hall and went through all the necessary paperwork to have a permit issued.
All right. So now, can I see the contract that you guys entered into?
Sure.
Does the contract specify how long it should take?
No.
Okay, so now let me ask you a question. How long should it take?
Everyone's different because everything is very unique when it comes to treehouses. But this particular one, I was estimating 2 to 3 weeks of prefabrication. Prefabrication is really where all the work comes into play. And then usually when on site, it's usually 1 week of on-site work once all the parts and pieces are built.
Okay, so now you had a problem with how long it was taking. How long did you wait before you pulled the
I waited about 5 weeks. So we got the permit on July 3rd. I sent him a check on July 6th. He got it on the 9th. It cashed to his account. It cleared on the 11th. Once he cashed the check, he was not communicative with us at all. He, and so we tried to get in touch with him to find out when the build was going to start. That first week, he said as soon as he got the check, he was ordered the materials, was going to have them express delivered. A week went by, they hadn't shown up.
Well, how do you know all these things if you're not talking to him? Okay, can I see the texts?
Yeah.
Okay, so July 9th, he tells you, I can't be there this week, but definitely next week. I'll order some materials tomorrow or Wednesday. July 16th, 7 days later, good morning, just wanted to check in, see what the plan is for getting started. We're trying to coordinate things. He says, the lumber arrived last week, but I'm still waiting on the treehouse attachment bolts. They should be here very soon. I was hoping to come up on Wednesday or Thursday to start. Everybody's happy. On Wednesday, you ask, did those pieces get in? The kids are getting excited. I really hope they get here today. I really want to get going. He then answers you Thursday, the next day. They're not here. I ordered them last Wednesday. I just checked the shipping. It was 7-day ground, so I guess technically they aren't late, but I would be assuming they would be showing up today, all right? They still hadn't arrived by July 20th. Glenn is telling him, okay, you know, we're getting anxious because this is taking so long with all the headaches, getting the permit surveying. We're just anxious to get started before the summer gets away from us. Please do let us know when you can get started. 3 days later, you text him you weren't feeling well. Now that brings us to July 23rd. I wasn't feeling well. I didn't know I was going to be able to come in today, but I feel much better. I would like to start, if that's okay with you. Great news. I'll be here all day. Can't wait. What happened that day?
So that day, that's actually a very important day. That's the day we set the treehouse attachment bolts. We framed the deck beneath it. It was a 2x8 pressure-treated frame that's hexagonal. So we framed that all out as well. And
is that up in the air or is that on the ground?
That's everything on the ground first.
First, but that's what's going to go up in the air.
Yep.
What's the finished treehouse supposed to look like?
Well, I have a couple of just, there's a few hexagonal ones on here that you can look at. They'll get you a close enough idea.
On July 25th, you're telling him that now that you're building the treehouse in your workshop, we'd like each side of the treehouse to have a window. On the 31st, you call him because now another 6 days have passed. What happened between July 25th and July 31st?
He had a car accident with his truck.
How do you know that? There's no text back and forth.
Phone calls.
Okay, so finally, you had a car accident with the truck when?
I'll be honest, I don't remember the exact date. It was right in there, I believe.
And
it was
what happened?
I swerved and clipped a tree and totaled my truck.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then by August 9th, Glenn loses it.
Yes.
This is Glenn. My wife and I have been trying to reach you to discuss the timing of the treehouse installation with no response from you. Please call us back ASAP or we would have to escalate this matter. To which you respond, I am at a funeral service. Call you soon. And then you send urgent, please read what was attached to that. You didn't photocopy it.
That was the letter I have right
saying
here.
Don't come.
Saying we wanted a refund, that we didn't think he was...
Okay, now at some point on August 9th, do you two talk to each other?
Yes.
And he says, I want you here by Wednesday, and you say, I'll do you better, I'll be there by Monday.
Yep. He was definitely, the previous conversation we had, he was very rude to me, and I was getting upset with him as well. And he was,
how was he rude? By telling you, build this treehouse or else? That's what he should be doing by that point.
No, well, actually, at that point, everything was, we just weren't getting along, I could tell. And I was getting frustrated with him with his constant calls. And I told him that I was away for the week and that I'd call him when I got back. And
I know, but how many weeks is enough? Are you entitled to take a week vacation and then another week if the car gets hit? You know, like there.
Yeah.
You understand?
There was. I figured at the time I figured I was well within my time frame.
Well, let me tell you something. If it had been me, you'd be well within your time.
Summer was
summer was what?
Fast.
It was August 10th.
Yeah, it was fading away.
No, it was August 10th.
Commitment.
It was August 10th. So in retrospect, wouldn't it have been better to take a deep breath? And if your only objection is the kids aren't going to have a treehouse and it's August 10th, by golly, because I'm not going to make your kids answer this, but I'm pretty sure you would prefer to have a treehouse right now, right, guys? Yeah, because they're kids and they don't care about your grown-up mess.
I didn't think it would ever get done. I honestly didn't think it would ever get done.
Really? Because of 5 weeks, you thought it wouldn't get done ever?
It was the lack of communication and the excuses.
On top of it,
I'm away, I'm out of town, I have an emergency,
I want you to
have a
think this
funeral.
through a second. Doesn't it seem like maybe if you had taken a breath and waited a few more weeks, you might have had a treehouse?
In retrospect.
Show me, show me what work you have done or had done. I don't know, is that stuff still around?
Yeah, I've been storing it the entire time.
Okay, what do you mean most of it? I guess some stuff is generic. And
there was some framing, I'll be honest, that I chopped up and used since then.
Right.
But for the most part, the really tough, the custom windows, the custom door, the rafters, all the walls. It's all sitting there.
I have been in your position. I know what it's like to be a frustrated homeowner. Do you have any interest in my attempting to broker a resolution between all of you, or are you just done and do you want me to rule?
So, tell me why tree houses are so awesome.
They're great. Everybody's got a little bit of little kid in them, and we want to get away from the world sometimes.
What do you, God, I don't know what you're wearing there, but that's awesome.
Thank you.
What do you, why treehouse is so amazing?
Probably like the nostalgic factors that go along with them. Honestly, I'm not really that big of a fan.
Who's a big fan of tree houses? Big fan of, what do you say? Of course I should go to you first.
I like tree houses because, I mean, a lot of movies include tree houses, so like, yeah.
Okay, I'll buy that. Going inside the courtroom.
Do you have any interest? You see those kids over there? Stand up a second, kids. What are your names?
Hunter and Sky.
Hunter and Sky? Okay, take a look at that man there. You want to build those kids a tree house?
Those kids, yes. Those two adults, no. I will not build a tree house for them.
You want? Okay,
No.
go ahead. But have a seat, children.
He threatened my life.
What? How did he threaten your life?
He
I didn't
called
see that
me
in
up
the
and
notes.
freaked out and told me that he was an important person, that he would send people to my house. This is on week 4.
That he would send people to your house to what?
I could only guess. Vinny and Rocco.
No. What did he say?
I'm not gonna put words
Quote,
in his mouth.
yeah.
Quote. I am an important person, and I will send Vinny and Rocco to your house.
Did you say that?
That's not true.
And quote, unquote, why would I make, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life to say that.
I can think of more menacing things to make up.
And he said, and then the next words were, are you recording this? I said, of course I'm not, Glenn. He said, well, then it's my word against yours. And then swore.
Granted, I was.
Yeah, I'm not going to put you guys together. All right.
Granted, I was frustrated that the time kept going.
Did you say you were going to send people to his house?
I swear on my kids that he said
Okay,
that.
no. Okay, yeah, not a good idea to put you guys together again. All right. I am so sorry that we are in this position because it was so unnecessary. You know, the impatience of a couple of weeks. So the very first question that happens is did he breach the contract or did you? I find that you breached the contract, that you did not have a right to pull out under the circumstances. So what I am going to do, because you have all those materials on your side and you're able to reuse them, is give them a credit for that. But be there no mistake, I do find that the breach occurred on that side and not on your side. I am, however, going to give them a credit for the materials that are there. I'm going to value it at $1,500, so I'm ruling in favor of the plaintiffs in the case in the amount of the $1,500, which represents just the credit for the lumber and stuff that's over there that they can't have. I'm sorry that it worked out that way. Good luck to everybody.
Well, the plaintiffs are going to prevail to the tune of $1,500 that you've got to give back to them. You got $7,500 of the deposit, right?
Correct.
So you okay with that?
I think it was very fair. I'm happy.
I gather building a tree house is not easy.
It's
in a tree.
It's not easy.
But you don't want to go back and do it for them, right?
No, not for them. I'm sorry.
You glad this is over?
I am. I hope it's over.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Hey, thank you.
You must sign a few documents outside. The Martins are on their way out of the courtroom right now. I'm intrigued to know why you brought the kids to court. Did you want them to see this and hear all of this?
I did. I wanted them to see how the justice system works in the United States.
Did you threaten him? No. Who are Vinny and Rocco?
I don't know.
You don't have a clue?
No.
He swore you did.
Okay, that's his opinion.
You got pretty angry with him, though, right?
I got frustrated and upset, and I was a little firm with him at the end of those weeks.
Yeah.
But I wasn't threatening him in any which way.
That's very interesting. Anyway, you're going to have to live with what you're getting back, $1,500. What happens now?
Oh, it's unfortunate, but we'll have to see what the next step is in terms of getting a treehouse for the kids with a reliable
You
builder.
agree with the judge who thinks you were just a little too impatient?
I don't. She wasn't living the day-to-day, trying to get a word from him with all his excuses about every excuse under the sun, and I truly don't even believe those materials that he bought were for us.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay?
Thank you.
All right, Harvey?
When you say you're going to send Vinny and Rocco to your house, no offense to those names, but you know what it means, and that's arguably assault, which is like a veiled threat. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Are your ulcerative colitis symptoms proving difficult to manage? Tremfya guselkumab can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. At 1 year, many patients taking Tremfya achieved clinical remission, and some patients also achieved endoscopic remission. Individual results may vary. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor if Tremfya can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more, or visit tremfyaradio.com.
This is the plaintiff, Gregory Hodge. He says the defendant's his niece, and she's very high-strung. One day they had an argument, and she stormed out of the house and attacked his truck with an umbrella, scratching it badly. The cops arrested her, and she's a 25-year-old adult who needs to pay him the $1,650 he needs to fix his truck. That's why he's suing. This is the defendant, Heather Gorman. She says she never touched the plaintiff's truck. She never caused any damages to the truck, and he's trying to blame her for something she didn't do. The guy lives in a bad neighborhood. The truck got scratched there, and he's just being vindictive. She's accused of not crying uncle.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says his high-strung niece attacked his truck during an argument. The defendant says she never laid a hand on the vehicle. It's the case of trucking things up.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome,
all right, Mr. Hodge. Ms. Gorman is your niece?
Yes.
Wow, okay. So, and how? How so? Like your...
My sister's daughter.
Okay. And the two of you were visiting, I guess this happened when?
11/23/17, Thanksgiving.
So Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
All right, so you're visiting your mother?
I was at my mom's house, yes.
And she comes over to visit her grandmother, right? And what happens according to you?
A little verbal argument ensued.
Over what?
My niece made a comment to me about something. I had just gotten out of the hospital that day, actually. And my niece made a comment to me that I should have died in the hospital.
Okay.
And it was kind of harsh.
That sounds to me, to my trained eye, that sounds like you two already had a problem. So what was your problem? You didn't get along with your niece?
We've had our differences over the
what?
years. Minor arguments, little tiffs over family issues and stuff like that.
Okay, and so she tells you should have died in the hospital.
Yeah, so I got a little upset, and, you know, I responded with something.
What were you in the hospital for?
I had 10 days earlier, I had a heart episode, and I spent 10 days in the hospital and just had a defibrillator put in, and I wasn't in too good a shape when I came home.
Okay, so she says you should have died in the hospital, and then what happens?
We got into a little bit of more of an argument. She said a couple of more things, and...
How old is Grandma, Mom?
Mom at the time was 86.
Okay, so that's pleasant. It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We're at the home of an 86-year-old, and the two of you engage in this? What did you say to him? Did you say to him, I wish you died at the hospital?
No, I did not say anything.
What was it you said that caused the problem?
We were arguing because he came home.
What were you arguing about?
About him not feeding my grandmother. She was in bed, laying in bed at almost midnight, crying that she hasn't eaten all day.
At midnight?
Yes.
So didn't all this happen, did it happen before midnight?
I had come home from the hospital around maybe 8 o'clock.
At night?
Yeah, they released me.
And what time were you visiting after that?
Around 11.
PM?
Yes, I came home from dinner with my parents that night.
Okay, and you were visiting your grandmother at 11?
Yes, because I went to go see her to pay my respects to her on Thanksgiving.
Okay, and then you get there, and then she says, I haven't been fed all day.
Yeah, she was laying in bed crying, and I asked her what had happened. And she said that he was complaining since he got home from the hospital that there was no toilet paper in the house.
Okay.
And I feel like that shouldn't be her responsibility. He was in the hospital, yes, yes, he just had a heart attack, but he also has 2 kids that could be helping her as well.
Okay, so what did you say to him?
I didn't say nothing of it. We got into a verbal dispute.
Obviously, you got into a verbal dispute, and then what happened? Okay.
And the one thing led to another, and I left.
And then what happened?
And then he accused me for damaging his vehicle.
Okay, you tell me what you say happened. Go ahead.
The argument, she made the statement about, you know, that I should have passed away in the hospital. But
By the way, had you left your mother, your 86-year-old mother, without food between 8 and midnight?
I was in the hospital for 10 days, but my daughter, what I was upset about.
Who's that with you?
That's my daughter.
Stand up, please. Come forward. Were you living in that house or staying in that house, or were you there for Thanksgiving?
No, I was visiting.
When did you visit there? What time?
I got there about 11:30 while the fight was going on.
At 11:30, and everybody just visits Grandma at 11:30 when Grandma doesn't sleep?
No, she stays up all night, actually.
Okay. So you go to visit Grandma at 11:30 and the fight's going on?
Yeah.
Okay. Who was Grandma with on Thanksgiving Day?
She was home actually by herself at the time. My
Does
daughter,
she take care of herself? Who feeds her? Does she take care of herself?
I help her out a lot.
But you're in the hospital. Who's taking care of Grandma when you're in the hospital?
My daughter was doing things.
I was helping
on that day, though, she wasn't there. So who was there that day?
That day, she was home for quite a while by herself while my daughter and son came to pick me up at the hospital. But my daughter brought me home and we went to my mom's house. And
when you got there at 8 o'clock, did she eat or had she already eaten or what?
That was part of my, I was a little upset that nobody made arrangements after me being in the hospital for 10 days to have some kind of food in the house for Thanksgiving and stuff like that. So we were looking to try to order somewhere to get some food. It was 8 o'clock at night when it all started.
So did she eat, yes or no?
Yeah, we all wound up eating at the end of everything. You know, it was just real late night dinner, put it that way.
What time did you guys eat?
I guess it had to be, it had to be around 11 by the time we got anything to eat.
Before she gets there?
Actually, after she's left and it was all over.
Oh, so Grandma hadn't eaten all day?
Well, she ate during the daytime. She had food in the house. You know, I mean, you know, she had food to eat.
Just not a Thanksgiving feast?
Not a Thanksgiving feast, exactly.
Were you complaining about toilet paper and there being no toilet paper?
I was not, well, I was a little upset that, yeah, maybe the toilet paper
Who were you upset at?
My son and stuff.
Okay, not your mother.
No,
you don't expect
that
the
my son and
86-year-old to
stuff
make
like
sure
that
you're
while I was in the
perfectly stocked
hospital
with
couldn't
Charmin.
help her out, the kids.
All right, so now you two get into it because according to you, she says to you, you should have died. Were you present for that or no?
Yes.
Oh, you tell me. What did you hear her say?
Yes, I did hear her say exactly as he said, that you should have died in the hospital. He did turn around and called her a tramp. And then she went out and slammed the door.
Okay.
Repeatedly banging my grandmother's door.
After I had locked it
because he
behind
locked the door on her after she left.
Repeatedly banging, meaning trying to get back in?
Yeah.
Okay. What was she trying to get back in for?
Just yelling because of that statement.
What was
I
she
made.
yelling?
I don't remember exactly what she was yelling, but
Do
she
you
was
remember?
really
It was
irate.
a lot of nonsense, honestly. I couldn't make it out through the door. She was screaming like a lunatic.
Have you guys not gotten along with her for a while?
No, I was fine with her, but because my dad and her had the argument, I was actually just stopping her.
Has your dad and she been had problems before?
Yes.
What do you figure? Just their personalities doesn't?
Yeah, they clash.
But
here and
you're
there.
okay? You two were okay?
I was, yes.
Are you still okay or now you don't talk to each other?
Doesn't talk to me too much because of this case.
Would you sue your niece if your niece damaged your vehicle?
No.
Why?
Because I love her.
What if it's $5,000 in repair?
Well.
10.
Ooh.
20. Of course you would. Going inside the courtroom.
So now you hear the screaming at the door, the pounding on the door, and then what happens?
Well, I thought at this point it should have been over. At this point,
I'm sorry, who's the lady you're with?
My mother.
His sister?
Yes.
Oh, geez, come up, front and center, right there. All right, go ahead.
I had a funny feeling something was going to happen, and I proceeded to watch out the window. It's an apartment building, and 6 stories up, I got a good view of where my truck is, and sure as heck, there she's headed towards the truck with an umbrella.
With an umbrella?
Yes.
And what does she do?
Actually just starts going off on the truck. She put big puncture marks in both passenger and driver's door, and it proceeds to go all the way to the back.
Wow.
And that side is the driver's side.
Someone's pretty angry there.
That's the umbrella marks again.
Someone's pretty angry.
And it goes up this side and then the back of the tailgate.
Wow. Who did that?
Not me.
I couldn't hear you.
Not me.
I can't hear you?
Not me.
Not you?
No.
Oh, so who was mad at him at midnight that wasn't you, that wasn't upset, that didn't walk out, and who do you suppose?
I don't know how he's
You got
accusing
arrested
me.
for this, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Did you end up pleading guilty to it?
No.
how did the case resolve itself?
There was a restitution set in place, and there was an ACD.
Say it again.
There was an ACD put in place.
Okay, so that means they arrest you for, I love how this works. This is New York?
Yes.
Yeah. So they arrest you because you committed a crime. Then they tell you to do what the rest of us have been doing, which is not commit a crime. And so long as you don't commit another crime, then they drop the crime they arrested you for having committed, right? Have I got it? Okay, so part of that case, according to you, was that you were ordered to pay $300, correct?
Yes.
Now, Mom, did you get involved in all? You know, this is your brother. I assume you love him. This is your daughter. I know you love her. I presume that at some point after this unfortunate incident, you attempted to kind of broker some peace or get involved in any way, or no?
I haven't spoken to him in 6 years.
Oh, never mind. Okay. Let me see the estimates for repair.
This is the estimate. I'm sorry.
Give me any and all estimates you have for repair.
And that's it. This is the restitution that she paid in criminal.
Did you get
court.
that money?
Yes, $300.
I'm finding in favor of the plaintiff in this case. I'm awarding him the remainder after the $300 that he's already received for a total of $1,650. Verdict for the plaintiff. Good luck, folks.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So the plaintiff gets what he is seeking, $1,650. You've already given him $300 because the value, the estimate was for 19-something, so he's going to get his car repainted and fixed. The judge thinks you did it, obviously.
That's good for him.
I mean, you had the weakest denial I've ever heard. I didn't do it. Did you do it or not?
No, I did not.
Then who did?
I don't know. We park in a very bad neighborhood. And you know what? He lied. He can't see 6 stories up, 3 blocks, 4 blocks down. So that's, you know what? He wants the money. He got it. He took me here.
See, you didn't say anything like that in the trial. Very weak denial. What a wonderful family situation you guys have going.
Horrible, horrible family situation. Horrible. That family has to be this way.
Boy, I feel sorry for you. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Really sorry. Hey, Mr. Hodge. Again, you may have won the case, but boy, what a terrible family situation.
Family
going on
dynamics aren't doing too well, but maybe they can sort themselves out someday.
I think you got to be a part of it.
It's just family, you know, disliking family.
Good luck to you. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. You'll get your car painted anyway. Harvey?
Doug, I mean, it is insane for something like this to go to court. She should have just paid and apologized, and they would have ended up in the same position they're in right now.